Well, good evening. For our application, we're gonna present what we have for release 1.0. First of all, my name is Oren Cruz.
I'm Kaplan Santher Mohan.
I'm Andrea Cabral.
I'm Harvey Cabrias.
I'm Sahal Mohammed.
I'm Ruchi.
And right now we're gonna test our project. So we'll look over for the first user story. For the first one, we'll just read it. As a user, I can view the events so that I can be updated about the workplace. So we're gonna test it. For the testing part, we should be clicking on the title of the events, and what we should have for the output is the events content. And as you can see, when you click on it, it shows that it has the content, has the news style and the news content. So that's that's working fine.
So for our second story, we did as a manager, I can create events so that I can keep my employees updated about the workplace. So now we are going to go to the manager side of the application. Just logging in as a manager here. And then we can create a new or create a news event. And then all I have to do is enter a title and its content. And then by hitting the create a new event button at the bottom, we create it and it's added to the repository, which can be shown in the employee list. So that one is a pass as well. We passed our test.
Okay, so as a user or manager, I can navigate the like through a navigation icon, which is this three dots right here. So I can go to any view for them. So it works fine. So I think this story is best.
Okay, for the next activity, as a manager, I can create schedule so the employee knows when to work. For this task, it is not yet coded. Okay. Schedules. Oh, so it's that schedule. And
Yeah,
this is in the
this-
manager side, right? Okay.
Yeah,
For
this
this
story
side,
is
it's
not
not
like
yet
finished.
coded, so the data won't be stored in the repository to display it to the employees. Therefore, the acceptance test for this task fails.
And then for our next story, as a user, I can view my weekly schedule to know when to work. Since we couldn't get the schedule to work yet, we couldn't show the weekly schedule of each employee. So therefore, this story is also a fail. Just change that to red real quick.
Okay, so as for the next user story, you would have to log in as for the employee account. So for this particular user story, users will be able to communicate with other users to receive any to be able to share messages with each other through the app. So let's log in as the employee. And you click the messaging page. So unfortunately, this particular section hasn't been fixed yet. So this is not a pass. This is a fail.
Okay, so the next is, as a user, I can sign up to the application so I can be registered to use it. So we go to the registration view, and I need to check the database to know it's here. So I can use this as a user. Okay. So now I can create a new user. It's called user 2. So now I've created a new user. So for this is a task. Richie, that's you.
Yeah, so as user, I want to log into my application to access my profile and like to see the new events happening on the workplace. So like when we click on the event, we can see the details of the event. So this test case has already passed.
Okay, as a user, I want to share my availability to my manager, make a schedule based on it. Okay, the create availability task allow user with the employee account to select their availability via drop-down box. It will store the data to the repository and it will display it to the manager side. The manager have the access to the list of the employees. So when the manager clicks the employee ID, it will display the availability to the employee to the manager. This activity meets the expected result, so the acceptance test for this task has passed.
So our next user story is as a user, I want to see my payroll and know how much I'm getting for the hours worked. We haven't gotten to this part exactly because we were trying to use the the schedule and display it on a bi-weekly basis, and then take their hours worked and multiply it by the minimum wage rate. But since we didn't get the schedule to work yet, this user story also fails.
So for this user story, basically as a user, I want to change my password just to keep my account secure. Right now we don't have that option in our application yet. So in conclusion, this test is a fail since we don't have it.
And for the final user story, we have the instructions. So what this is supposed to do is that the users will have instructions viewed to them, and they will tell them how to go around the app. Unfortunately, we don't have, this is also a fail. We don't have this necessarily installed yet. All of this will be fixed in the release 2.0 plan. And yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not a pass.
So that's it for release 1.0, and hopefully for release 2.0 we can have everything resolved. So yeah, this is our application.